Happy Independence Day! That last video had so many jump cuts that it jump cut all the hair off my head. So, it is the 4th of July here in America, and in the world as well. However, other places in the world you may not celebrate the 4th of July like we do here. So, it's Independence Day, and I personally am celebrating my independence from being tied to the typewriter. The girls were nice enough to let me go for this holiday weekend, and then it's back to the script. I am currently on page 22 of the script. A lot is happening in this script. I just didn't realize how much there was for this one episode for the arc to remain on track. A lot to talk about last week's video. A lot of you mentioned that there was a lot of jump cutting going on. For those guys, I would like to say you might want to shut your eyes for just a second because a lot of people were almost driven to seizures by all the jump cutting. Now that is syllabic jump cutting right there. A cut per syllable, so it could have been worse. But let's talk about movie posters because this is an interesting thing, I think. Movie posters obviously are a huge part of the industry, and if you have a good movie poster, odds are more people will see your movie. I am going to just cut right to the chase here and say that a vast majority of the boards is pretty much just a fan of Drew Struzman. Drew Struzman did the posters for Star Wars. He did the posters for Indiana Jones. He did the posters for Back to the Future, The Goonies, for Blade Runner. Like, this dude did all these movie posters. If you're looking at something that's like kind of hand-drawn, that's Drew. In terms of the posters themselves, Star Wars posters walked away as the champion. Star Wars posters were at the top with 9 votes. Indiana Jones followed up with 7 votes. The Dark Knight poster with Joker out of focus in the background and like, why so serious? That got 6 votes, so it was right behind. And that's not a Struzman, as far as I know. As for my personal favorite, I would have to say that the movie poster that most intrigued me with knowing nothing about the movie was Pan's Labyrinth. That little girl standing facing this, like, you know, the dark tree and everything. It was really badass. I like when there's like heavy dark overtones mixed with something contrasting, like the innocence of that little girl standing there having to face this. And I was like, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go see it. And then I walked over, I was like, Guillermo del Toro. Okay, well, that makes sense. And I also really responded to not the poster for, but part of the marketing campaign of Donnie Darko. I saw it on a billboard and I thought, oh, I gotta see that. Their tagline, which was just dark, period, darker, period, darko. How could I not see that? I gotta go keep writing. As for this week's question, it's the 4th of July, which is a holiday in America, which we celebrate big time. What are the movies that you associate with holidays? With my family, it tends to be, for Christmas we watch It's a Wonderful Life. Thanksgiving, another American holiday, we end up watching Home for the Holidays, sometimes Pieces of April. And 4th of July, not always, but it seemed to start becoming a tradition, which I like a lot. It's a lot of fun for a 4th of July movie. We started watching National Treasure, or National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. I started my own holiday tradition this past year on Thanksgiving. I watched The Dark Knight, and I would like to make that like a yearly tradition for myself. On what holidays do you guys watch what movies? And, you know, why? I gotta get back to writing. See you next week.
Almost driven to seizures. Bye.